Hi friends, I am Parvez, and in this video we're going to learn that how we can build a chatbot, and after that how we can integrate that with Facebook Messenger. Now if you're interested in building chatbots, then you can join my complete course on how to build chatbot with Google Dialogflow and Udemy. So I have added the link in the video description. There are different topics in this course like fundamental concepts on chatbots, simple appointment scheduler, chatbot integration with different platforms like Facebook Messenger, like WhatsApp, Twilio, Twitter, Slack, Communicate, and different websites. Talking about rich responses and custom payloads, building a simple restaurant chatbot, building a backend REST API for the chatbot using Python. And after that, we'll learn how we can integrate our chatbot with Firebase. And we are going to build a simple cryptocurrency finder chatbot. And at the end, we are talking about human handoff project. Now, in this video, this is the simple chatbot we have created. And after that, now we have integrated with the Facebook Messenger. If I say, for example, hi, I will back receive a response from my chatbot that what I can do for you. For example, if I say, I want Python book, you can see that I'm receiving, I can give you Python. If I say, what is Django, and it's telling that Django is used for full stack web development. What is React? And I will back receive response from the chatbot. And if I say something that's not trained in my chatbot, I will receive that, can you say that again? In this part, we are going to talk about Dialogflow and also chatbots. Now, before creating or building our chatbots, now let's talk about chatbots. Now, what are chatbots? So, chatbots are computer programs that simulates and process human conversation, either written or spoken, allowing humans to interact with digital devices as if they were communicating with a real person. So if you have heard about Siri or IBM Watson, now the basic problem that these bots try to solve is to become an intermediary and help users become more productive. They do this by allowing the user to worry less about how information will be retrieved and about the input format that may be needed to attain specific data. Now for building chatbots, we are going to use Dialogflow. Maybe there will be different platforms that you can use, but we're going to use Dialogflow. Now, first of all, what's Dialogflow? So if you see Google Cloud, now it's related to Google Dialogflow, and it's a natural language understanding platform that makes it easy to design and integrate a conversational user interface into your mobile app, web application, device, bot, interactive voice response system, and so on. Using Dialogflow, you can provide new and engaging ways for users to interact with your product. Now, Dialogflow can analyze multiple types of input from your customers, including text or audio inputs, like from a phone or voice recording. It can also respond to your customers in a couple of ways, either through text or with synthetic speech. Now, you can see that for right now, if you see, Dialogflow provides two different virtual agent services. And we have Dialogflow CX, and it provides an advanced agent type suitable for large or very complex agents. Now, this is new, and this is created new. And another one is Dialogflow ES, and it provides the standard agent type suitable for small and simple agents. Now we are interested in this, and you can just click on this, and after that this page will be opened, and now you can click on go to Dialogflow ES console. You need to open that. Obviously first you need to create an account. I have already created an account, and now this is our Dialogflow, and you can see this is the interface of Dialogflow. Right now we're not going to talk about these concepts like training or, for example, intents. We'll talk about these concepts in the later video, but this is the interface of Dialogflow. And also, if you see in here, you can see that Dialogflow CX, it's new. We are not interested in this. We are going to use this. Before building our chatbot, now let's talk about some main concepts. So the first one is agent or Dialogflow agent. What's that? The agent is essentially the bot itself. Think of the agent as a small kid. You have to teach him how to communicate. It's your responsibility to create the bot's personality and manage what it can understand and how it responds. So you can create a Dialogflow agents from here. So right now, if you see, I have two agents, test and also my agent. But you can click on this create new agent to create agent. So after that, you need to give the agent name. For example, I'm going to just give it my chat agent like this. And after doing this, you can click on create. So now we are waiting for the agent and it will be created. So now you can see that our agent is created and you can see that it is my chat agent. And right now you can see that we have two intents in here. So we have default fallback intent and also default welcome intent. Now, first of all, what are intents? Now, intent is whatever the user says and what do you do after the user says, or when user want to interact with a chatbot. Also, we can say that intent is what he or she is asking from chatbot. For example, if a user said to chatbot that book me a movie ticket, or for example, book me a flight ticket, or we can say that, for example, please give me information about Python. Now, these are called intents. And whatever we ask from the bot and whatever response we receive, that's called intent. And right now we can see that we have two default intent, and this is fallback intent, and also this is welcome intent. And every intent, if I click on this intent, we have some training phrases. And you can see about training phrases, this is the information. When a user says something similar to a training phrase, Dialogflow might match it to the intent. You don't have to create an exhaustive list. Dialogflow will fill out the list with similar expressions. Now, these are some phrases for the default fallback intent. For example, I didn't get that, or I missed what you said. For example, if we ask from the Dialogflow something that's not in our intent, it will say that can you say that again? For example, in here, if I so in here you can try this. So if I write it like this, so this is the, you can see that, sorry, can you say that again? And if you see in here, we have this phrases in here. Sorry, could you say that again, or can you say that again? And so this is if I write, for example, something more, and you see that we are receiving another. So sorry, I didn't get that. Can you rephrase? And so now the default welcome intent is triggered whenever a user starts a new conversation with your bot. And the default fallback intent that right now we are in the default fallback intent, it's triggered when the bot is unable to match the user's input with any intent in your agent. So for example, if I say hello in here, I will receive a response from the chatbot. Good day, what can I do for you today? It's because if I go to the intent and if I go to the default welcome intent, in here you can see that we have some training phrases, and these are the, if I say, for example, hi, hey, hello, I will receive these responses. How are you doing? Hello. For example, if I say hey, and like this, and you can see good day, what can I do for you today? I can remove this, for example. Also, let me just show you one more thing. You can try it from here. Also, you can try from the integration. You can see that there are different places that you can integrate with different, for example, technologies. And in here, so you can see we have Messenger from Facebook, Line, Telegram. So let me just click on Web Demo and I can enable this. After that, click on this. And from here, so now in this section, we can try our agent. So now in here, if I say hello, and I should receive the response. So you can see greeting, how I can assist you. If I write something, and there will be default fallback. Now when I say hello, it will trigger the default welcome fallback. And if I say something that are not in my intent, and it will trigger the default fallback intent. Now let's just let me just go to the intent, and from here let me bring some change to default welcome intent. So I'm not going to bring to the training phrases, but for the responses, let me just remove these from here. For example, in here I can add my own, what I can do for you, or like this, or we can just say let me just say, for example, how are you, like this. Okay, so now let me just save this, and now you can see intent saved, and it will train. And after that, let me just refresh this. So now in here, if I say, for example, hello, so what I can do for you now, this is the response that we have created in here. So if I say hi and how are you, and if I say something like this, and one more time, because it's not in our intent. So now let's create our own intent. So these are the default intents. Let me create, you can click on this create intent, and after that you can give the name of the intent. For example, I can just give it DG intent and click on save. So now our DG intent is created, and you can see that we have training phrases. So first we need to add some training phrases in here. So let me just say, for example, what is Django? And also, for example, I can add Django. So now these are the training phrases that a user will ask from the chatbot, for example. After that, we need to add responses that our chatbot will add for the user. So you can come down and we have text responses. So let me just say Django is Python web framework, and you can add more responses. So let me just say Django is used for full stack web development and building REST API, like this. And after that, we can click on save. So now intent saved, and let's refresh this page. So now if I say hello, how are you, it's telling me. And if I say what is Django, Django is a Python web framework. And if I say, for example, Django, and you can see Django is used for full stack web development and building REST API. And if I add something that's not registered in my intent, I will receive, for example, I didn't get that. So you can add as many as intent that you want. For example, let me just add another intent from here. Let me click on this, and let me just call it React, for example, intent, and let me save this. And after that, we can add our training phrases in here. What is React.js? And we can just say React or React.js. And in here I can add response. So React.js is a JavaScript library, and it is used for building frontend, like this. And let's save this. Now intent saved. After that, we can just refresh our page. So now if I say hello, how are you? And for example, if I say what is Django, I'm receiving the response from Django. Now if I say what is React.js, React.js is JavaScript library, and it's used for building frontend. If I say React, I will receive React, this JavaScript library. If I say Django, I should see Django. And if I say React.js, I'm receiving React.js. And if I add something like this, sorry, what was that? So like this, you can create your own intent in Dialogflow. In this video, we're going to talk about follow-up intent. Now, to demonstrate follow-up intent, we are going to create another intent in here. So let me just create intent, and I'm going to just call the intent, for example, let me just call it programming books, and click on save. So now let me just add some training phrases. For example, I'm going to just say I want a programming book, and after adding this, now I need to add a response in here. For example, I'm going to just say, are you sure you want a programming book? And after that, click on save. Okay, so now in here, if I say this, for example, if a user asks from Chatbot that I want a programming book, let me just say I want a programming book, and if I hit enter, so you can see that, are you sure you want a programming book? If I say yes, you can see that nothing happens, and it's telling me that, sorry, could you say that again? Now, to handle this problem, we can use follow-up intent. So now if I click on the intent, and in the programming box, you can see that we have add follow-up intent. Let me click on this. So there are different follow-up intent. We are going to use yes. Okay, now the follow-up intent is created. Let me just click on this. And then here, you can see that if the user say, for example, yes, why not? Yes, I do, exactly. What response we are going to say for example, for the user. Now for that, we can just say, okay, and okay, I will give you a book, like this. Okay, so now let's save this. And now if I refresh this time, if I say, for example, first I'm going to just say hello, and after that just I'm going to say I want a programming book, and it's telling me that, are you sure you want a programming book? If I say, for example, yes, and you can say, okay, I will give you a book. Now let's also create another intent, for example, for canceling. For example, I say that I don't want a book, I want to cancel, for example, the book or the book order. Now for that, let's just create another intent, and let me just say cancel book, and we can just save this. And then here we can add the training phrases. For example, if I say to the chatbot that I want to cancel the programming book, and after that, the text response, for example, will be, are you sure to cancel the programming book? Okay, so now let me just save this. Okay, so now for example, if I say this, I want to cancel the programming book, I want to cancel the programming book, and I'm receiving, are you sure to cancel the programming book? If I say yes, nothing will happen because we need to add a follow-up intent for this also. Now in the cancel, and here we can add a follow-up intent, and yes, for example, if the user say yes, and what response will be. So for example, yes, now these are the training phrases, and then the text response, I can just say, for example, okay, now we can just say the book is cancelled or whatever you want. So for example, I can just say giving programming book is cancelled. Let's save this. So now let me refresh this. Okay, so first I want to just say hello. I'm going to just say I want a programming book. Are you sure you want a programming book? I'm going to just say yes. Okay, now if I say for example, the phrase that we have in here, now I can just say I want to cancel the programming book, Are you sure? Do you want to cancel? Yes. Now giving programming book is cancelled. Now like this you can add follow-up intent. In this video we are going to talk about entities. So if you see in here we have entities. Now intents have metadata and that's called entities. So for example, if we are saying I want to buy a book today. Now in here buying a book is intent and today is entity. Or if I say I have bought a book yesterday. Now buying a book is intent and also yesterday is entity. So we can say that entities are Dialogflow mechanism to extract and identify useful data from users' input. There are two types of entity. We have system entity and also we have custom or developer entity. So now let's create another intent in here. I'm going to just click on the intent and let me just, for example, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to just call it buy book. And let me save this. So first we are going to talk about system entity, and there are some built-in entities in Dialogflow that you can use. Now, so we need to add some training phrases. Now, in here if I say, please buy me a book for today, if I hit enter. So now you can see that today is a system entity. You can just say sys.datetime. Now how you can get this? So now in the training phrases in here, for example, in this section, in the training or text response and not training phrases. So this is our training phrases, and the responses in here I can just say I have, for example, bought the book for, I can use $, and in here we need to give the name of the entity, and that's the value of the entity, and that's date time or the parameter name we can get. So date time. Let me just save this. Okay, so now if I refresh this and if I say please buy me a book for today, and if I hit enter, so you can see that I have bought the book for, you can see that this is the today date. And so for example, if I add another in here, so I can just say, or we can just say, please buy me a book for tomorrow. You can just add it like this for tomorrow. Now tomorrow is misspelled. Tomorrow from New York. From New York, like this. Okay. So now we can see that tomorrow is the date time entity and the New York is the GeoCity. Now in the text response in here, I can just say I have, for example, bought the book for, I can just say date time and from $GeoCity. Let's save this. Okay, now it's saved, and let me refresh this. And if I say please buy me a book for tomorrow from New York, like this, and let me make it correct, tomorrow, like this. So now we can see I have bought the book for this, this is the tomorrow date, and this is from New York. So like this you can work with the built-in entities. So if I click on the entities, and you can see that for the custom right now we don't have, and if I click on the system, so you can see that these are the two system entities that we have used. So we have learned that how you can use system entity in Dialogflow. Now let's talk about custom entities. For example, if I say I want a Django book or I want a Python book. Now Django and Python, these are custom entities and these are not built-in entities for the Dialogflow. Let's learn that how we can create custom entities. So we can just click on entities, and in here, so we can click on custom and create entity. You can give the name of the entity. For example, I'm going to just give it book, and after that let me just say Django. So you can add the synonymous, so I'm going to just leave it Django, and we can just say React.js and Python and also JavaScript. Now let's save these. So now we have some custom entities in here. After that, let's create another intent in here, and I can just say let me create an intent, and let me just call it, for example, pro book, and we can save this. Okay, so now in the training phrases, if I say, for example, please give me Django book, you can see that the Django is a custom entity and the parameter name is book, and this is Django. Let me just say please give me React.js book. So this is the custom entity. Please give me Python book. You can see the Python, and please give me JavaScript book. Now you can see this is JavaScript. Let's add response. I can give you, and I can just say $book. I can give you. So this will be response from the chatbot. Let's save this. Let's refresh this. So now in here, if I say hello and how are you, if I say for example, please give me Django book, so I can give you Django. Please give me React.js book. So you can see I can give you React.js. Please give me Python book, and you can see that we are receiving I can give you Python. And also if I say Django, so this is from our another intent. Django is a Python web framework. And if I say React.js, React.js is a JavaScript library, and it's used for building frontend. So like this, you can create custom entities, and also you can build a simple chatbot using Dialogflow. So now we have our chatbot. Let's learn that how we can integrate this chatbot with Facebook Messenger. So for example, if I say hi, this is my simple chatbot, I will receive the response that how are you. For example, if I say I want Python book, and you'll see that I am receiving that I can give you Python. Or if I say, for example, what is Django, and Django is a Python web framework, and if I say what is React.js, you can see that React.js is JavaScript library, and it's used for building frontend. Now we have our simple chatbot. We want to integrate this with Facebook Messenger. So now the first thing is that you need to create an app in Facebook Developers. So you can just go to the developers.facebook.com/apps, and in here you need to just click on create app. So I'm going to create a business app. I can just click on business, and after that we can just click on next. And now you need to give a display name. For example, let me just give it, for example, whatever you want, you can just give it FB, or we cannot give FB, but we can just say integration chat, or even we can say chat integration. Okay, so after that we can just click on create app. So now in here you need to give your password. Let me just give my password. Alright, now my chat integration is created. You can see that also I have an app ID in here, and the type is business. Okay, now the first thing is that we need to add Facebook Messenger, because we want to integrate this chatbot with Facebook Messenger. So you can see in here we have Messenger. Let's just click on setup, and now it will add. Okay, so now we have added the Facebook Messenger in here. You can see that this is the settings, and from here the first thing is that you need to add the page that you want to integrate your chatbot. So you can create a new page from here, but I'm going to just use an existing page, add or remove pages, and in here we can just choose a page. So let me just continue, and from here I'm choosing this page, and now we can just click on done. So now you're now linked chat integration to Facebook. Let's just click on OK. So now we have added the page. After that, what we want to generate a token for the page. So we can just click on generate token. I understand. So this is the token. We need to copy this token, and after that click on done. So let's just go to the Dialogflow. If you go to the integrations part, there are different integration. For example, we have text-based integration. It's easy. And we have open source integration. It has more setup. Now, if you want to learn more about open source integration, for example, how you can integrate your chatbot with Twilio or with Twitter, or for example with WhatsApp, then you can join my course on Udemy. I have added the link in the video description. But for right now, we are going to use Facebook Messenger from the text-based, and in here I can just click on this Facebook Messenger. So now in here you can see we have callback URL, we have verified token, and also page access token. We need to add the page access token in here in this section. We have created this in the Facebook app, so this is token generated. Also, we need to specify a verified token. For example, this is my token, and we can just copy this token, and we can just go to webhooks, and in here we need to add a callback URL. So first you need to add your verified token. So now this is the token that we have created in here. And after that you need to copy the callback URL from here. And we need to just add that in the callback URL. So this is a validation URL. After that we can just verify and save. So before verify and save, you can see that we are receiving that the callback URL or verified token couldn't be verified. That's because that couldn't be validated, because we need to just start our Facebook Messenger and Dialogflow integration. So we can just click on start. So now after this you can just now you can see that it's started. Now let's just go to the integration, and we can just say verify and save, and now it's verified and saved in here. So now we have our callback URL and also verified token. So this callback URL, it's a validation request and webhook notification. The object will be sent to this URL. We have verified token, the token that Facebook will echo back to you as part of callback URL verification. And now we need to add subscriptions or permissions for that page, for the Facebook page. So we can just click on add subscriptions, and from here we want to choose messages and also messaging postbacks, and click on save. So now we have added 2 subscriptions in here. So now I think we are done, and let's just we can choose the page. Yeah, we can also choose this, or we can on this, or if you want to use, for example, NLP or natural language processing, you can also add that. But for example, we are not going to use this. We can just opt that, and we can leave the page like that. Okay, so now I have this page, Python coders, and I have opened this page in here, and here we need to now by default it will be like this, Python coders. Now you need to open this as the viewer, for example as the liker. So we can just click on this, and from here we can just click on send message. So now let's just wait. For example, if I say hi, so now you can see what I can do for you. Now if I say I want Django book, and let's just wait, so I can give you Django. I want Python book, and you can see that I can give you Python. What is Django? And I will receive back response that Django is a Python web framework. And for example, I want, for example, I can say I want, or we can say what is React? So React.js is a JavaScript library and it's used for building frontend. Now if I add something that's not trained in my chatbot, for example like this, and you'll see that I will see that I missed that, say that again. Now this is the default fallback intent that's triggered. So as we have already learned in our chatbot, so let me just show you. So in the intents, when we create our intents, we have, for example, default fallback intent and default welcome intent. So that's from default fallback intent. And if you see in the default welcome intent, now these are that we have just 2 for them. And for the, let's just go to the intents, and for the fallback intent, you can see that we have this some expressions like this. And so now let's just go to the intents, and so for example we have a cancel book, buy book. Let's just use some, please buy me a book for tomorrow from New York. So let me just say please buy me a book So we're not receiving any response from this because please buy me a book today. We need to just because we have some system entity. If I say please buy me a book for today, okay, you can see I have bought the book for this date. And so these are the 2 system entities. You can see I have bought the book. And let's just go to the intents and let's test. So you can test all of them, all of the intents. So like this, you can create a chatbot, and after that you can integrate that with Facebook Messenger.